All right, let's get right into this one, because on paper, this was just another Premier League match, a top team visiting a side that's struggling. But what actually happened at the London Stadium? Well, that was anything but routine. It was a result that sent absolute shockwaves through the league, and boy, did it have massive implications for the title race. And the headlines the next day? They were brutal, in tatters. Just think about that. A single 90-minute match against a massive underdog completely turned Manchester City's relentless chase for the trophy upside down. So the big question is, how on earth did it happen?
To really truly grasp the scale of this upset, you first have to understand just how far apart these two clubs were before the game even kicked off. I mean, this was the definition of a David versus Goliath story.
And this table right here, this tells you everything you need to know. You got Manchester City, sitting pretty in second place with 61 points, breathing right down the neck of the league leaders. And then you scroll way, way down the table, and there's West Ham United, all the way down in 17th with just 29 points, hovering dangerously close to that relegation zone. A massive gap.
Yeah, and this just lays it all out, doesn't it? These teams were living in two completely different worlds. For City, the mission was glory, another shiny championship for the trophy cabinet. But for West Ham, the objective was way more primal, just survive. You have a global powerhouse on one side and a determined, gritty underdog fighting for their Premier League life on the other.
Okay, so the stage was set for what really should have been a straightforward win for Manchester City. So what actually happened on the pitch? Let's take a quick look at how the action unfolded into one of the biggest shocks of the entire season.
So, for a while there, the script seemed to be going exactly as planned. Just over half an hour in, Bernardo Silva gets the goal, Manchester City are up 1-0, and you're thinking, okay, here we go, the floodgates are about to open. But then, something incredible happens. Just 4 minutes later, the West Ham defender Konstantinos Mavropanos scores a shocking equalizer. And that was it. For the rest of the game, for the next hour, City threw literally everything they had at West Ham, but just could not find a way through.
Now that 1-1 scoreline is startling enough on its own, but here's where it gets really crazy. When you dig into the stats of the game, the story becomes even more unbelievable. The numbers paint a picture of total, utter domination that somehow didn't end in a win.
So first up, possession. Look at this. Over 71% of the game was played with the ball at a Manchester City player's feet. They completely controlled everything, pinning West Ham back in their own half for huge stretches of the match. It was relentless.
And this is the stat that just blows my mind. Manchester City had 24 attempts on goal. 24. And West Ham? They had one. A single shot. And guess what? It was the one that went in. This wasn't just dominance, it was a statistical siege.
So think about that for a second. That's 71% possession, those 24 shots on goal, and yet this is the only number that mattered when the final whistle blew. 1-1. It was an absolute masterclass in gritty, disciplined defending from West Ham, and you have to say, a catastrophic failure to finish for Manchester City.
A result like this doesn't just end at the final whistle. The fallout was immediate. You had analysts, fans, everyone scrambling for an explanation. Where did it all go wrong for one of the most powerful teams in the world?
And pretty quickly, the spotlight turned to City's superstar striker, Erling Haaland. As one analysis put it, on a night where they absolutely needed him, he just went missing. A player of his caliber getting only 21 touches of the ball in an entire game, that's almost unheard of. It really tells you a lot about City's struggle to break down that deep defense and get their main guy involved. And of course, eventually, the questions lead right to the top. To the man in charge. This result sparked a fierce debate about the manager, Pep Guardiola, and his tactical decisions. Was the team's approach just too predictable? Did he wait too long to make changes? Or was it simply one of those freak results in football, a true testament to West Ham's incredible grit? Well, that's the question that's going to linger long after the stunning draw.